everyone, thanks for tuning in today. My name's Sarah Giles. Thanks for watching with us today on Music Talks with Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Today we are joined with Jeffrey Wayne from West Virginia. We are here local with him for his Outlaw Country. Hear a couple tunes, learn a little bit about his music and where it comes from. Hey Jeff.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good. How are you doing today?
Fantastic.
Awesome. It's so great to have you in studio and to get to hear some music after, I know, a long haul of not too much music going on right now live. So
it's been rough. It's rough going from playing, every week, multiple times a week to nothing, just cut out. So yeah, I'm glad to be getting back in and doing something.
Awesome. Well, I know we have a lot to talk about between an album that came out in 2018 to everything that came up until now with some live music. I know some trips to Nashville and now some planning for the new album.
Yep.
So let's just get back to where it all started. I know born and raised in Georgia, came to West Virginia into your sound, which is Outlaw Country. So what does Outlaw Country mean to you, Jeff, and what's that sound like?
Well, I think Outlaw Country, I wish it didn't need to be its own genre, to tell you the truth. But as a result of the current climate in music, we've had to kind of differentiate ourselves with more of a classic sound from what people are listening to on the radio. So that's why I call it Outlaw Country as opposed to just country, just so everybody knows that it's not the normal, as I say, bro country kind of stuff. So.
Sure, yeah. So how did you come into as we're calling it now, Outlaw Country, as your sound? Was it inspiration as a kid? Who are some of those influences for you within that classic genre?
Well, I grew up listening to, all the older guys, Johnny Cash and Waylon Jennings, and, I loved that music and that sound growing up. And as I got into music, it didn't initially start out that way. I was initially playing a lot more Keith Urban and, more modern country, but the more that I played and the more I played out especially, the more I realized that I couldn't give that kind of music all of my attention because it just wasn't me. And so I started phasing myself a little bit more into the older sound, to focusing more on fiddle and more on steel guitar and harmony and stuff like that. And I just didn't like the new sound, so I drifted backwards and was hoping that it would kind of catch on. And it seems like it's starting to get back a little bit more to the norm. These guys like Stapleton and Cody Jinks and all of them have been bringing that original sound kind of back to the mainstream.
Absolutely. And I know with your first album, the Outlaw Country definitely shines through. And, something with classic country is the storytelling is what everybody loves with it. And I know that, through your lyric, you're a great storyteller. Was that something that came along just picking up a guitar as a kid, or when did you first start writing and what was that like?
Well, so my whole thing, and I've talked about this before, it was weird that my whole reasoning for getting into music was I just kind of felt left out. All of my friends were playing music and I didn't play anything. So when they gave me the opportunity to play with them a little bit, my friend's parents owned a guitar shop down in Carrollton, Georgia. And when I got the opportunity to play some guitars in there and start learning a little bit, I learned the old stuff. And then when I started writing, it just kind of felt right to write to that kind of material. I didn't feel right writing just poppy kind of cliche hooks. I wanted to tell a story, with my songs, and I wanted people to be able to relate with it without it just being about let's get out and party or let's, buy stuff or whatever. I like to make a connection with the people listening to my music. Well,
and I know the slogan is for Jeffrey Wayne, real country for real people, which I think that does. Anybody that listens to your music can feel that. It's really relatable. It's not, you pick up a lot of, top 40s country now, and it's about, partying, love songs, and, simple messages, simple themes. But I think you've gotten really great at digging in to find a deeper story, maybe create characters through your writing.
Yeah, that's so thematically I think it's more difficult to write about topics that aren't necessarily wrote about. Like, for instance, I'm jumping the gun a little here, but on this new stuff I've got some songs about drinking and driving, and songs about family members passing away, and stuff like that. That's not really wrote about anymore in the
Yeah.
mainstream. But I think that's what country is supposed to be for. It's supposed to be an outlet for people to deal with their emotions in hopefully a more healthy way.
Yeah, absolutely. Give something for someone to listen to, relate to, and just lets fans dig a little deeper into those songs. Well, let's talk a little bit about that then. From I know you've got the new album coming, and it's in the works, in the writing period right now. But let's throw back to 2018. Now 2 years ago, and you signed to Mon Hills Records at West Virginia University in Morgantown. What was that like to go from playing songs for you to putting an album together and the recording process of that? What was that like?
It was incredible, to see these songs that I had essentially just had in my head. I was playing them for people, but they were kind of single dimensional. And to come into a studio and put people together who were incredible musicians, everybody that played on that album was amazing, and see it really come to life, it was just something I didn't know if I'd ever get. A lot of people work for a long time and don't get signed to a record label, so it's and they're not any worse or better than I am most of the time. It's just kind of a matter of
right place at the right time.
Exactly.
And resources.
So getting to see that, and now getting to see it again, is just, it's more than I could really have ever hoped for.
Yeah.
I just want people to hear the music, and this is a perfect outlet for me to get it out there.
Absolutely. Was putting out Whiskey Stains, you had the single and then you had the album. What was that like, having that platform to connect to fans, start building that fan base, and have that circle of people that you felt like were your listeners? Was that kind of the start to that for you?
Yeah, it was great to actually see people respond to it. It's one thing to go out and play a show and you play a cover song, everybody knows it, and they get excited about you playing the song. But it's a whole nother thing to write a song and put it out and have people listen to it and want to continue to listen to it and get a hold of you and say, I like that song, I relate to that. It's just a whole different ball game than going out and being in a cover band.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that's what I'm trying to focus on now, is really putting out good, solid material for the fans that I have, and hopefully get many more fans over the years.
That's great. And I know that project kind of gave you a leg into, getting outside your typical market of, West Virginia, and getting to Nashville a little bit. What was that like to, step into a new scene, that is country music in Nashville, and traveling there for a bit?
That's been amazing. So I was going really regularly. We're kind of in a bad spot right now, but I met a lot of awesome people. I'm still going to be meeting, awesome people. I've got to play in some incredible venues down there, at Tootsie's and Famous, and all these places that these idols of mine have, played through, have kind of cut their teeth going through. And it's just amazing to be on those stages, and then getting to meet other songwriters. I was part of a competition down there called Nashville Rising Song. And I came runner-up in that, which was pretty neat because there was just a ton of incredible musicians and songwriters playing in it. And so it's kind of like, taking yourself where everything, and throwing yourself in this ocean that you have no idea where anything's at, who anybody is, and you're hoping that you bump into somebody that can help you out. And I've had pretty good luck down there with that, getting to meet some people with a couple different publishing agencies and some songwriters that have a lot of notoriety, and getting to talk with them and see what kind of advice they can give me, and they've been really good about giving me good advice.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's so important to underline there that it's so possible to have a career in music and be a professional musician and not live in Nashville. Kind of take the stigma away. You have to either live in Nashville or one of the bigger cities, especially for outlaw country and country music. It's so great to see hometown, small town artists making it.
Absolutely. I was all about wanting to move to Nashville, immediately. I was like, I got to move to Nashville. I'm going to play music. I got to be in Nashville. Well, I read an interview with Sturgill Simpson that really kind of set with me. He said the worst thing you can do as a country artist is move to Nashville. He said, how can you write country music when you're living in one of the biggest cities on the East Coast? You've got to be in the country. he said the best thing you can do is get a van, put a band together, and start playing music.
Yep.
So,
which I think is exactly what you've done for the
Yeah.
past 2 years since the album happened.
Yep.
That's great. Well, now looking at the next record, you've got one under your belt. You've had some time to get to know your fans, put that out there, start your platform on a really strong foot. What's going to be different about this next record from the last, and what have you learned from that process that you're going to take with you?
Well, the scope, one thing, is this is a much bigger project. Not going to get too much into it yet, but it's going to be a lot bigger ordeal. As far as, say, the marketing and stuff of it, I've learned a lot about what to put out for the people and what needs to be on the album for people to come and listen to. So a single versus deeper cuts on the album, and I think that we've got a really good mix of stuff that's going to be on this project. There's old school, there's a little bit more new stuff, there's controversial stuff. It's going to be a good project. I think people are going to really, really enjoy it.
And having the opportunity to hear a little bit of that through Mon Hills, and through your writing process of when you decided to write this album and starting to work with, I know we've got some co-writers potentially on board for that, which is exciting. But you've really honed into that storytelling through this one, and like we said earlier, creating some characters. And are there any themes that you really want to push toward the front, or any really fun stories that drives this one different from the rest of albums out there right now?
Well, most of my songs that I write are from reality. They're from stuff that has happened in my life, or stuff that has happened in people that I know's life. And maybe it's not direct. Maybe that song isn't directly about that, but maybe the feeling that they had, inspires that song, or that I had. And so with this album, there's going to be a lot of, sometimes controversial themes that I'm going to explore in this, in the songwriting. And one of them, for instance, is about a friend of mine's family member who passed away, which is, I had never written a song for somebody at that point. So writing that song was kind of a big step for me in my songwriting process. And I think that's going to be good. But then on top of that, we've got some really cool upbeat songs that people are really going to like, that I'll play one of them later, but I just think that it's going to be a good project. There's something for everybody.
That's great. Now, we don't have a title yet.
No, not yet. Not officially.
Great. Maybe some ideas rattling around, and I know that I think fall's probably looking like a lot of the production. Maybe later this year. We're not tying ourselves down to any time period. Going to let the music just do what it needs to do to get there. Yeah,
that's a big thing. Back to one of the things I've learned from the last album. I don't want to rush the process. I want to make sure that everything on this is exactly what I want. Because some of these songs are some of the best songs I've ever written. I want to make sure that I do them justice, on the album. So, there's a lot that's going to go into it as far as the way the name will directly reflect the music within the album.
Okay, that's great. So, for those that might just be meeting Jeffrey Wayne for the first time, we're gonna share some songs after this commercial break here. But before we do that, where can people find your music? Maybe find some videos, get a taste of who you are while they're waiting for this next album to come out, because I know everyone's really excited now.
Yeah. So we have a brand new website. It's jeffreywayneWV.com, and you can also find the album Whiskey Stains on any of the streaming platforms, iTunes, Spotify, whichever one you prefer to use. We're also on YouTube and live whenever we get a chance.
Awesome. All right, well, after this commercial break, we'll come back and hear a couple tunes from Jeff, some new, some old, and everything in between, so stay with us. Hey, welcome back to Music Talks. We are at Mon Hills Records with artist Jeffrey Wayne, and he's here to show a couple songs for us. So go ahead, take it away, Jeff.
All right. So this first one we're just going to do is the title track off the last album. So this is Whiskey Stains. Grandma kept it on a nightstand by her bed. I never paid much attention, didn't need the words in red. Didn't want to hear them, 'cause they just slowed me down. Living fast and dying young was all I was concerned about. Left turns when things got tough and a hard road to hoe. I wasn't looking for a way out, just somewhere to go. Daddy handed it to me and said, keep it close, son. Maybe one day you'll reach for it before you reach for the gun. Right in the front, there's a line with my last name. Death's births and life decisions ain't just a list of dates. The man upstairs ain't looking down, calling me a saint. 'Cause my Bible's got whiskey stains. My Bible's got whiskey stains. That old leather bound kept me company for both kinds of bars. Being where I am today, I gotta thank my lucky stars. Living how I live ain't just a hand of fate. It's bottle fed and whiskey bread and just a bit of faith. Right in the front, there's a line with my last name. Death's births and life decisions ain't just a list of dates. The man upstairs ain't looking down, calling me a saint. 'Cause my Bible's got whiskey stains. My Bible's got whiskey stains. Oh, right in the front, there's a line with my last name. Death's births and life decisions ain't just a list of dates. The man upstairs ain't looking down, calling me a saint. 'Cause my Bible's got whiskey stains. My Bible's got whiskey stains. My Bible's got whiskey stains. All right, yeah, that's Whiskey Stains. So that was off the last album, like I said, and did real good. We were real happy with that song, and had to get some new ones for the new album that I was just as happy with. And as it turns out, I've got some that I'm even more happy with. So here's one of the newest ones. That's a little more upbeat song. I think y'all might like it. It's called "Might As Well Be Me." Every jukebox joint's got a cowboy rolling in hot and playing them loud, getting all the little girls rowdy and cranking up a country sound, treating the bar like a pulpit and preaching about a good Jim Beam. Well, every bar's got 'em a redneck reverend. Tonight it might as well be me. Hold 'em high and knock 'em down, grab 'em tight and spin 'em around. You get wild, brother, then you'll see. Well, everything use a little redneck, so tonight it might as well be me. That girl that I was spinning around the dance floor, she was hotter than a Texas sun. You're damn right, I was damn sure we were in for an all-night run. When that boy cut in and spilled your gin and tonic on the Macy beans, somebody's gotta teach a boy a lesson, so tonight it might as well be me. Hold 'em high and knock 'em down, grab 'em tight, brother, then you'll see. Well, everything use a little redneck, so tonight it might as well be me. Need a little more easy, a little more fun, a little less PC, a little more rum, a couple more zeros on my check, and a whole lot more redneck. Hold 'em high and knock 'em down, grab 'em tight and spin 'em around. When you get wild, brother, then you'll see. Well, everything use a little redneck, so tonight it might as well be me. Well, everything use a little redneck, so tonight it might as well be me. All right, that's Might As Well Be Me. That one's, I think that one's going to be fun. We've been playing that one out right before all the Corona stuff, and it was pretty popular. People liked it. So hopefully you'll still like it after Corona, even though everybody thinks everything sucks right now. But okay, so we'll get a little bit more serious on this song. This one was actually kind of neat. I got to do this one down in Nashville for the guys that work with Eddie Montgomery. It's a good song. It's called "Throwing Back a Memory." City lights are blind, but that's where you can find the antidote to all those thoughts that are buzzing in your mind. So I sit at the bar and hope that I ain't far, getting what I need to mend this lonely broken heart. Maybe it's a bottle, maybe it's a line, maybe it's all those used to be's buzzing on a melody spinning round in my mind. But I know what you're thinking, I know what I need. I ain't drinking, I'm just throwing back a memory. Working on my tan, but not with sun and sand. Sawdust and neon work best on a broken man. Can't change the way I feel with the whiskey and the pills, but I'm in need of some amnesia if I'm ever gonna heal. Maybe it's a bottle, maybe it's a line, maybe it's all those used to be's buzzing on a melody spinning round in my mind. But I know what you're thinking, I know what I need. I ain't drinking, I'm just throwing back a memory. Maybe it's a bottle, maybe it's a line, maybe it's all those used to be's buzzing on a melody spinning round in my mind. But I know what you're thinking, I know what I need. I ain't drinking, I'm just throwing back a memory. Oh Lord, I ain't drinking, I'm just throwing back a memory. All right, that was throwing back a memory. So this last one I'm going to do for you is pretty important to me. I was down in Nashville and was on my way back and had stopped in Gatlinburg and was sitting in a hotel for the night, and my buddy called me and said that his mom had passed away. I'd had a couple little drinks and I sat around and wrote this song, and so it means a lot to me. He liked it, and I think that's kind of the benchmark for this being a pretty good song. So hope y'all enjoy it as much as he did. It's called The Best of Me. Lord, what's it take to be the one I can't remember to forget, when I'm trying to pretend that I can hold it all together, but it's more than I can weather with a dream. But I hold my own read the red with hope in my heart, whiskey on my breath, and I try like hell and pray for grace and hope this time it ain't more than I can take. And I've been down before, but you were always there to pick me up from all the hell I put me through. I just hope the best of me didn't go with you. Maybe let's rewind to a Sunday afternoon around dinner time. Chicken on the grill, man, that's just fine. Well, I got all these memories still intact. I just wish a photograph wasn't all that I could hold of you. And I try like hell and pray for grace and hope this time it ain't more than I can take. And I've been down before, but you were always there to pick me up from all the hell put me through. I just hope the best of me didn't go with you. And I know someday we'll catch up, but until that day, damn, it will be tough. And I try like hell and pray for grace and hope this time it ain't more than I can take. And I've been down before, but you were always there to pick me up from all the hell I put me through. I just hope the best of me didn't go with you. I sure hope the best of me didn't go with you. Well, thanks a lot, everybody. Appreciate y'all taking a listen to me. Make sure you go and check out JeffreyWayneWV.com, and hopefully you can get out and see us live whenever we get back to playing live. And until then, take a listen on iTunes, Spotify, anywhere you want to listen. Thanks a lot, y'all.